Welcome to Addicted to News, everyone. We're here to talk about some Game Developers Conference, aka GDC news. Mainly DirectX 12 from Microsoft versus the OpenGL standard API battle, Ubisoft's Snowdrop game engine, Sony's virtual reality headset, and hints at a Shenmue 3. Here we go. So DirectX 12 is a locked API or application programming interface tied to Microsoft's latest Windows and Xbox platforms. In a quote from Tech2, DX12's focus is on enabling a dramatic increase in visual richness through a significant decrease in API-related CPU overhead. And while it is very efficient compared to a main competitor, OpenGL, it does not allow developers as much freedom, especially for a third-party developer who wants to put their game on every platform. Now, if said developer had a deal to only put a game on Microsoft platforms, then that's where using DirectX 12 only becomes especially easy for them. On the other hand, OpenGL is used for multiple platforms and vendors and is what PlayStation uses a lot, but since it's supporting so many variations, it's not quite as efficient as DirectX 12, but allows more freedom of development with a single API. DirectX 12 is special because it is like older OSs such as DOS in that it allows direct access to hardware with nothing in between the code and the hardware, whereas the latest OpenGL might not allow direct access but is rumored by AMD and Intel to support a performance increase of 7 to 15 times over its current 1.3 times performance, but not much else info has been put out on that matter yet. Meanwhile, Ubisoft was at GDC showing off a newer build of its Snowdrop game engine, which is the engine that will be powering games such as The Division later in 2014. Snowdrop and its videos display the engine as being able to realistically replicate a human-feeling world in a kind of apocalyptic setting. Their Snowdrop engine preview video displays how game engines are evolving to take a lot of the difficulty layer away, allowing developers to focus purely on making a quality game. In an article from Joystick, environment artist Jill Jarlston said, "Working with the engine is kind of like solving a puzzle. The elements are already there, so it's just a matter of how you combine them together." Another announcement at GDC was the public unveiling from Sony of its virtual reality headset, which is physically different than the Oculus Rift, but Sony's VR headset's code will not be shared outside of Sony as the Oculus Rift may be doing. The Oculus Rift team has John Carmack on their side, though, who is an intelligent visionary in the gaming industry and one of the original team members from id Software. A little proof of concept for Sony's VR is a quote from IGN, but the current prototype does include a 1080p display, full 360-degree positional tracking, and reportedly low latency. Here's hoping the VR headset industry develops standards to make VR games cost-effective and plausible. A quick final point was some small hints towards a Shenmue 3 from Dreamcast series creator Yu Suzuki. When asked if Suzuki would like to develop a new entry in the Shenmue series, the answer was yes, with the right opportunity. And he later discussed how modern technology would help resolve some of the difficulties himself and the team at AM2 encountered during development, as quoted from IGN. This has been another Addicted to News. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and game on.
Let's go.